Welcome to Cold Coffee Chats, the podcast where we dive into the beautiful chaos of motherhood, the ups and downs of marriage, and the journey of growing our faith. I'm Brittany.
I'm Aubrey.
And we're your host. Each week, we'll gather around the table, coffee cups in hand, to share stories, insights, and a good dose of laughter. Whether you're navigating the sleepless nights of new parenthood, balancing the demands of family life, or seeking deeper connections in your marriage and spiritual journey, this is the space for you. Together, we'll explore the real, the raw, and the relatable moments that shape our lives. So go find that cup of now cold coffee that you probably laid down somewhere, get comfy, and let's chat about the beautiful mess of life. Hi guys, I'm Brittany and welcome to Cold Coffee Chats.
I'm Aubrey. Welcome.
This is our first episode and we're so glad you're here.
I think we should start off by kind of explaining why is it called Cold Coffee Chats?
Because I have a blog called Cold Coffee Grind. That's not why.
That's not why. I mean, yes, but back, oh my gosh, how many years ago was that? No. At least
7, 8.
7?
Yeah.
Okay. We brainstormed what the blog name should be, and we came up with Cold Coffee Grind because
I've never met a mom who drinks their coffee hot.
Yeah, and it was kind of an ongoing joke because Brittany had the first kid in our family, and everywhere I looked around Mom and Dad's house when she'd be over, there would be a cup of coffee, and it was never hot. And
like I'd have multiple cups everywhere. Yeah.
I guess you had to be there.
But I also think...
But I think there's a lot of you out there who also relate. I never get hot coffee from Starbucks to start with. It's now just like iced, watered down.
And watered down coffee just sounds lame.
Yeah.
So we definitely call it that.
Watered down coffee chats.
Yeah. So grab your cup of cold coffee and get ready to have some random rants with us because this is going to be...
Because we both have ADHD, we're sisters, and we're moms. And that is just a recipe for a pretty fun podcast.
I don't think we have ADHD. I think we just have mom brain.
I think it's a mix of both.
Is it?
You've met our father.
I think it's also like a side of anxiety. It's like a little ADHD, mom brain, plus a little bit of anxiety dropped in there, and that's us.
I love all the anxiety is what you emphasize is a little bit.
No, it's like a lot. It's like mostly anxiety.
Like God was making us.
Like if we were a salad, anxiety would be the lettuce. ADHD would be like some tomatoes. And mom brain would be like all the cheese.
That is the weirdest analogy I've ever heard.
Come up with a better one. All right, well, let's get on with it. Here's episode 1.
Sponsored by White House Foods, serving generations of consumers since 1908.
So really quick before we get into our something superficial like you can't live without right now, before we start talking about that, I told you that we posted a video of Mom and Dee Dee's new playroom. They have a stage. It's really cool. It's like the stage the dreams are made out of when you're a kid. The stage we never had.
We could have been famous.
Speaking of being humble.
If we had the encouragement of a stage, quite like what they put together for their grandchildren.
Yes.
It's fine.
But anyways, Aubrey and I got up on the stage and I didn't know what we were going to do. And she was like, oh, we're doing High School Musical. And I was like, great, love High School Musical, got this. And then she proceeded to tell me that it was, what was her character? Sharpay, yes.
Who even are you?
Well, but here's the thing. As a High School Musical fan, I like the good guys, and Sharpay in the first one was not a good guy, so I did not memorize her songs or her dances because I didn't like her. She was not nice.
Bop to the Top was iconic.
I know, but I was not Sharpay. I was Gabriella. So I didn't know what I was doing. So we posted the video, and I'm clearly just following Aubrey's lead. And this girl from high school posted, oh my gosh, I love this. So this is the Brittany from high school I know. Like, on cheer team. Like if you didn't know the dance, you were sure gonna fake it till you made it. But your sister is main character energy, and I was like, that is the story of my life.
That's hilarious.
Main character energy. I was like, you don't even really know
Did
her,
you
and you
post
are.
the part where I bumped my head on the
Yes, that was my
ceiling?
favorite part. I should probably make a reel out of it so it just stays.
Yeah, did you post this?
I posted in my stories, but I'm
Oh,
gonna
I
have to
must
make
have
a
missed
reel
it.
from it so that it
It
like
was
has
really
a permanent
good.
spot.
Honestly,
in
no, I
history.
think we need to like practice.
Like do a redo.
Get like the outfits.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
you can borrow Rachel's prom dress.
Oh
still
yeah,
has it.
she did. Yes,
had the
it was very
perfect-
Sharpay.
It was very Sharpay. So yeah, okay, coming soon.
We're coming
A
soon
redo.
to a real near you.
But like, can we practice? I need to know
that's what
your
I said.
choreography.
Like the choreography.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do breaking free if you wanted to.
Oh, yes.
I would not mind wearing some gym shorts.
Flying. I could be
There's
Zach. I don't
not a
mind.
star in heaven. See,
Yeah, so good.
That
Okay.
chemistry.
What are some more songs from High School
From the
Musical?
first one?
Yeah.
Oh well, get your head in the game.
Get your
As the
head
first
in the
one that
game.
comes
Yeah,
to mind.
That's good.
Yeah,
good.
that's.
The kids like that one.
Oh,
We're missing like.
Yo, it's her one that's like not gotta go my own way because that's
Oh, God,
high
I love
school.
that one.
That's so good.
I
From the
literally
second
cried
one.
watching that.
Oh my gosh, you know, you go back and watch these things after your frontal lobe has developed, and like some parts are a little cringy, but like I still stand behind High School
Yeah.
Musical. It's so good.
So good. Yeah. I was like telling the kids about it and we had a whole like marathon and they loved it. Benjamin loves it.
Yeah.
But I was like telling them like when the third one came out, guys, it was epic. I cried. Like it was just so sad but good and great. And they like liked it, but they were like looking at me like, you cried.
I'm not gonna lie. The song they sing, "Can I Have This Dance?"
Oh yeah.
I
love
tried to talk Matt into that being our first
love
dance
that.
for our wedding, and he was like, "No, no,
No respect.
no respect for High School Musical." It was so rude.
High School
But
Musical.
for anyone out there, if you have not gotten married, it's a very good opportunity. You're welcome for that idea.
I like
You're
it.
welcome to take it. But yeah, that one's so
Great.
good.
Yeah. Love it. Gosh, there's so many good ones. And what is the one they sing at the end? We're all in this together. And it shows
That's the
when we
choreography
stand
we can
hand
get
in
down.
hand and we see.
We'll be right back with some of our favorite superficial things at the moment, but first, a word from our sponsor.
Hey there, podcast listeners. We're excited to share a special message from our sponsor, White House Foods, a family-owned and operated gym located right in Winchester, Virginia. At White House Foods, they're not just about great taste, they're dedicated to quality, sustainable, and family traditions. For over 100 years, they've been planting and nurturing apple trees to bring the best apple products on the market. Whether you're craving delicious applesauce, tangy organic apple cider vinegar, or rich apple butter, White House Foods has got you covered with their all-natural, high-quality offerings. So the next time you're shopping, remember to look for White House Foods products. Taste the difference that comes from family care and dedication. Visit their website at whitehousefoods.com or look for them where you shop for your groceries. Thank you, White House Foods, for sponsoring our podcast and for bringing the best of Virginia's apple harvest to our tables. A superficial item or something superficial
What
that
does
you
superficial
can't,
mean?
like
Like, what do you mean?
like it's not like a
Not like my family.
yes,
an
right,
item.
not like your
Okay.
family food, air, water.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like not your Bible.
Okay.
Yeah, something superficial.
Something unserious. Okay.
Yeah, but like serious to you.
Okay. Well, you go first.
Okay, so one thing right now I cannot live without, and maybe those who don't struggle with adult acne will not get this, but I love Pimple Patches. They are so great. They are like little Paige calls them Band-Aids. They're like little Band-Aids,
Band-Aids.
but they're
That's so
basically like a
cute.
little sticker that you put over your pimple. And they're clear. You can wear them during the day. I will sometimes, but they don't stick that great if you wear makeup. So I definitely wear them like at night or like around the house. Like, cause
Did you let one of the girls borrow this?
Oh, yes, I did. And now they have them on their list. Like when you go to Target, we need more pimple patches.
Well, one of them wore one.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad because, of course, my Noya, she doesn't skip
Oh,
a beat.
yeah.
She goes, "What's on your face?" And I'm like, Magnolia, let them. Yeah. Like, teenage years are crucial. Don't be
Oh.
that person.
No, I think they're fine with it.
She just kind of looked at me like, help.
Oh, Paige asked me all the time. I was like, it's a Band-Aid. But if you're a picker like me, like when I'm anxious, I like pick my face. So they like when that's on there, like they're sort of expensive. Well, some are, but I'm sure there's ones that aren't that expensive. I just haven't found
So
them
it's
yet.
initiative, like not to.
Yeah, like I'm not.
Pick.
Yeah, and then like if they're kind of, this is gross, but if they're like kind of oozy already, if you put them on and wear them at night, it like sucks the yuck out of your pimple, so it like helps them go down. It's so if you know them, you love them. They're so good.
You can tell your mom loves you because she's looking like, oh, that's really good.
Yeah, well, that's 'cause
and I'm looking like, ugh.
they're so good, and that's because mom's our #1 fan, and it's also because she loves everything we do. It's also why I thought,
Well, everything I do.
yeah, more. She loves everything you do more, but it's the reason I thought, like, you know, like when you're in high school, what? I'm special. We're special. But she's the reason why, because of mom. In a couple years, you know, when my kids are like a little more self-sufficient, if I want to become a singer, I probably still can. But anyways, it's because she just thinks we're the greatest at everything.
She's
it's also why like
unrealistic, like self-esteem in us a little bit.
But it's also why like now I can like replay times where we did sing and I was like, oh, cringy.
Well, this is why like I can't take compliments anymore. Like, I don't know how to take them.
Like, you don't believe them?
I don't believe them.
My
ever.
mom made me feel like I was Carrie Underwood, and I've heard myself now, and I'm not.
So, who can you trust out here?
No one. Anyways, Pimple Patches.
It's great.
They're great. I'm gonna tag the ones that I like. I'm gonna post them in the caption of this podcast because you're gonna want to go get them after this. They're so good. So good.
So good. Okay, mine. Let's see. I'm not like, I told our cousin Amy, who is, I'm gonna butcher the word,
an esthetician.
Esthetician, thank you. Then she asked me like, what do I use to clean my face? And I was like, I mean, sometimes a makeup remover wipe. Like sometimes I just sleep in my makeup. And she was like, no, but like, what do you use to like wash your face? I'm like, no, that's that's it. And so I'm not educated in those sorts of things. What I had on my list was more along the lines of a shop vac for my minivan.
That's good. That's good.
Instead of paying $15 to use the vacuums at the car wash.
Some have free ones. Oh, like
no,
you have to pay
wash. To wash your car first.
Yeah. Sorry.
My Old Navy sweater, because it's my favorite.
Does it have
it's this
Jesus?
one.
Oh, it's the one you have.
No, it doesn't have a Jesus graphic on it. And my Toms, because they're so comfortable and they go with anything.
I've never been able. I really love my Brooks and my Hokas.
Brooks are the best.
Superficial must-haves right there. Actually, those might be.
No, don't even mess with the Hokas. Brooks are where it's at. They've got me. You know, back when you were in like high school and like we'd go to Disney. And I would wear like flat-boarded sandals.
Yeah.
And
I probably wore like Disney Toms. Yeah, I did wear Disney Toms actually.
Well, at least those are like somewhat comfortable.
Yeah, that's true.
But like flat board, no support. Yeah. And that's why I think I literally can't wear anything but Brooks or Toms on the daily.
Yeah, same.
I ruined my feet. So if you're, teens have it good now. Like comfortable is a style now.
Yeah, like sweatpants to school.
Yeah, they have no idea how lucky they have it. Mom jeans,
so dumb. Baggy is
no like, low rise for them.
Where like when we were in high school, it was like tight and
low
and high,
depending on where you're.
Nothing was like that. And now it's like the bigger the sweatshirt, the cooler you are. The baggier the pants. Yes. Like
the higher the tennis shoes.
Yeah. Socks up to your knees. Why not? Like,
yeah.
And like, this is like the opposite of what like cool was when I was in high school, but I like it. Like, I think I could have been cool if I was in high school now.
We were just born in the wrong generation.
Okay, go ahead.
So one item. I get really bad dry skin on my scalp in the winter, which this isn't really winter. I guess it's all year round. but but I started using the Frida Baby what's it called? Cradle cap?
On your
Like
your head?
shampoo that they make for it.
Mhm.
And I put that on, and then there's a spray to like hydrate your scalp afterward to put on it. And it's really cleared it up.
Huh.
I know.
Do you get that on Amazon or at Target?
Amazon.
Okay.
It's like the whole, it comes with the comb and everything, but I
Yeah.
think you can get just the shampoo and
Well,
the
I'll
spray
post
separate.
that too, Aubrey. We're just saving scalps and feet.
It's not much, but it's honest work.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think that's how the saying goes.
That is exactly how the saying goes.
All right. So, you said you had an unpopular opinion that you wanted to talk about today.
Are we still doing Elf on the Shelf?
Oh.
Hold on. Let me rewind. If you are listening with your children, now is the time to turn it off or mute it, because we are going to talk about some secret
Go ahead.
things. Okay.
That is the tone. That is the
that
tone
you're
for like
back,
maybe not wanting to listen to this with your kids.
Elf on the Shelf, are we doing it? Are we still doing this? How many years has it been? Are all
So-
those kids grown up now? Can we please?
I'm
not?
sorry that your kids are now finally at the age where they want the Elf on the Shelf and they would like it, and you don't want to have to do it. All the years that Benjamin,
I did half of your Elf on the
I know
Shelf.
that's what I'm saying. You really encouraged it, so I did it, and
But
now,
I also did the work.
and now I'm
for
yeah
you.
yeah. You did not do the cleanup. You did the setup.
Well, that's all
You
that
didn't come. No, when you're like, crap, I have all this flour all over my kitchen to clean up. Yay, fun. Aunt Di was so creative. Let me clean this up now and get ready for the next night. So, no, you have to do Elf on the Shelf because we have to do Elf on the Shelf because you committed us to Elf on the Shelf. back
Okay,
in the
but
beginning.
listen. When you have a toddler, like, who's old, like, you didn't start doing Elf on the Shelf till he was what?
No, I
3 or
literally
4?
had Elf on the Shelf when he was like 2.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was like 3.
Aubrey, we had Elf on the Shelf when he was 2 because we would have to transport his elf in a bag back and forth when he'd go to his
Okay.
dad's.
I understand.
And we couldn't touch him, so we
But
used kitchen.
have you met
tongs.
Rosemary?
Oh, jeez, I just hit my
Jeez, so
reflex.
passionate.
Yeah, wow.
Okay, fine. I'll do the Elf on the Shelf.
You're going to have to put them high enough that Rosie can't touch them.
That's
You'll
like,
be fine. You got this.
that's my
Aubrey, the best case scenario is that she touches it and then it's frozen for like 48 hours or something. It has to get its magic
Is that
back.
the timeline?
I don't know. Make it up. They don't know.
Isn't there a book?
Nobody knows.
Don't they
Aubrey,
don't they
you
compare notes with their friends at school?
Aubrey, no, it's fine.
I'm so nervous. Like,
No,
okay,
everybody's
this is
elf is different, and the kids just. A lot of parents even say like we have to buy our Elf on the Shelf at Target because they sell them there and kids see them now. So now you have to come up with this whole story like, yeah, we buy our elf, but Santa
gives it its magic.
gives it its magic.
See,
Yeah.
that's the thing is, I feel like we are bringing in all these opportunities to ruin the magic. Like, what if you can't come up with the right thing quick enough, or they start comparing notes with their friends? I feel like it's just
I would
more of an
say-
opportunity for them to find out.
I would say you weren't worried about that when Benjamin was 2 and 3.
Because I was committed to creating that magic. But now that I'm a tired
Yeah, but
mom
I
of
was-
2, I'm not as committed.
Join the club.
Where's
You've
my fun
entered-
Aunt Di? to
You've
come
entered the dark side. You're with the rest of us now, tired and grumpy over Elf on the Shelf.
Okay, but I'm wondering, where's my fun Aunt Di who's gonna come late at night and set up my elf for me?
I don't know, Aubrey. We don't have any single people left who have nothing better to do than to come set up the Elf on the Shelf.
Listen, all you younger kids all the younger siblings out there,
that should be. Oh my gosh, someone should
Go-
make that a job.
go get yourself married and have a child first before the older ones.
That is
okay?
terrible advice.
It's the best advice, because then by the time they have kids, they
I-
would have already helped you with yours, and yours are grown up now.
I was gonna say, if you're like, a teenager, young adult, and you're looking for some extra money, totally like become an elf on the shelf person. Like, go around at night, set up their houses, or make little like packages that have like make it really
That is
easy.
a thing. You can get them on
Yeah,
Etsy.
yeah, but they're all the same. Like, if you're a creative young person, that's a great job to have. Like elf on the shelf kits. Even if
Yeah.
you did like
Like, get paid to
here's-
break into people's houses at night. Change their elves.
Aubrey, you know, just like you let them know
After
like
it's
when your kids
bedtime.
go to bed and
Yeah.
like, hey, this is when you can come to our elf.
Just joking. Jeez.
Or you can
It's a
be
great
really
job.
boring, and sometimes our elves only move like they were supposed to, like they were originally made. They just move around the house. They don't make cookies. They don't make messes.
Is that what you do with yours?
Every now and then, yes. You
Every now and then.
Yeah.
Like every day.
No. Like every 3 times they do something really fun. But otherwise, they just move because our kids need to be
See?
humble. They're not that special.
Our kids-
Their elves don't do
The
all these
theme-
special things.
I think that's the title of this episode.
You're not
is-
that special.
You're not our kids aren't that special.
None of
Oh
us
my
are that
gosh.
special. That's what our Disney shirt
Nobody's
should say.
special.
We're not that special. But we're a little special.
Everyone's special at Disney.
That's your hot take, elf on the shelf. for
Elf on the
today.
Shelf. I don't know. I get really conflicted about it because obviously I want my kids' childhoods to be so magical and like so special. And so like I'll get in these spurts of like being super motivated to do
Mhm.
these things. But then they start asking Magnolia really ruins it because she starts asking a lot of questions.
She's a magic ruiner.
She's a magic ruiner. She's a magic spoiler. And she's like a little anti-elf. And she asks a lot of questions. And then I'm just not ready for those. You know?
Aubrey, that's why. Well,
That's part of having kids. I know.
yeah. But also, like, you're a very like all or nothing. Like, you're either going to be the mom who has the elf on the shelf that puts flour all over the kitchen and does all the crazy things, or like not at all. And like just moving your elf from the shelf to the Christmas tree to the Christmas tree to the cabinet is totally fine. They think that's how Elf on the Shelf started. These kids are getting too spoiled by these crazy elves doing these crazy
Who do
things.
they think they are?
No.
Special?
Yes, like I'm sorry. Like if my kids come home from school and they're like, well, Johnny's elf made cookies for them and they had cookies this morning. And I'm like, well, Johnny's elf is awesome. Her mom probably like never sleeps. Like, I don't know.
Johnny must have been really, really, really good this year.
Johnny must be special. Keep it simple, stupid.
Thanks.
That's all you gotta do.
That's great advice.
And if Magnolia asks a question, be like, I don't know. That's something to ask Santa.
in our letter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you have time to think about it. Yep. Do you know those
Yep.
elves, as problematic as those elves are, they have like really been a solution to a lot of our
Yeah.
issues. Like we have to celebrate Christmas a day early because Christmas falls on a Sunday and Christmas morning on a Sunday with church is crazy. So the elves wrote a letter saying like, hey, we're going to come early because we know your dad's pastor and you guys are going to have to be at church so much earlier. So we're coming a day early because you're special. Just kidding. It didn't say that. But we did say, and
it was actually very cool. I
it was
saw
very
it.
cool and very
Yeah.
believable. And Jason really gets into the letters. He
Yeah.
doesn't get into like the big elf doing crazy things. Like one time we did something and like it literally made our bathroom out of commission. Like the elf
You
was
went
like,
a little too hard.
yeah, the elf was like fishing in the toilet. And that was like the day that we were like, we gotta stop.
Oh, because then you can't touch it.
You
Like,
can't
it
use the
just is-
toilet.
yeah.
And when you at that point we lived in a house with 2 bathrooms. So we
Right.
were all sharing
6 of you.
one bathroom because of the elf. The elf was literally like holding us captive. So like I said, keep it simple.
Elf's gotta go.
No,
I
they
know.
don't
I'm
have to go.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm
We'll
gonna send
keep
my
it
kids
simple.
over to see if your elf is there, and they're gonna ask.
well, that's what
Magnolia, where's your
happened.
elf?
Okay, the whole reason we even have an elf is because little Benjamin asked Magnolia, asked me if Magnolia had an elf, and I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
Hence why I can't answer these questions on the spot. So I was like, yes. And so
You just gotta get better at that.
quickly I got Magnolia an elf. And then he wanted to know, what's Magnolia's elf's name? And I'm like,
Yeah.
Sprinkles. And then he said, well, what was it doing this morning? And I was like, I actually got to move this thing around. Not for my kid because she's
But now
one,
my
she
kids
doesn't
have
know.
expectations.
But yeah,
yeah. Wait till like so
it's like a disease. It
Mhm.
spreads.
before Paige was born, we thought
These kids
you
needing
just called
magic.
the elves a disease. Before Paige
They
was
are.
born, we thought we were going to be able to get away with like on the nights that they weren't at our house, we wouldn't have to move the elves because how would they know?
Right.
But they
They
would
want to
they
picture
would
evidence.
call us, they would FaceTime us, they wanted pictures like what's the elf doing today? So, yeah. Also, don't come at me until you find yourself among a blended family of elves because now we have 3 elves. Because Benjamin had 2 because accidentally got him a girl. And I thought I could just like nonchalantly swap him out with a boy. And like, why
Mhm.
did I think he needed a boy? And I don't know. I don't know why he should have just had a girl. It would have been fine. But anyways, so
Because he's the only boy in his family, so he really
he needed some more boy.
he
Yeah,
needed
more
some boy energy.
Yeah. So, but he noticed and he was like, "Well, where's the girl?" And I was like, "Oh, she must be hiding. Maybe they're playing hide and seek." So now we had 2 elves. Then when Jason and I got married, Audrey and Amelia had Miss Holly Mistletoe, who is a biracial elf. So we're just like
really blended.
very blended.
Yeah.
And now we have 3 elves.
Well, does Paige need an elf?
No, they're all her elves. They're all everybody's elves. No more.
I don't know.
No.
Negatory.
Negative.
Okay, do you have a hot take? Do you have an unpopular opinion?
Yeah, I think my unpopular opinion is you started the elf thing in our family being like crazy, so you have to deal with it, and you have to have an elf.
no way, shape or form. Shape or form started it. You bought the elf. I just helped you keep it alive. So you're welcome.
You kept it too alive. Okay. My favorite though was the day that Benjamin came home and told me that he wanted a mensch on the bench. And if you don't know what a mensch on the bench is, it's like the Jewish religion version of Elf on the Shelf. I think. I'm really not sure.
Is that
like
what
a
it's
little
called?
man.
Are we sure?
Mensch on the bench.
Really?
Mensch. Yes. One time I made a mistake and I thought he was saying wench on the bench.
I know. I was going to say, don't mistake it for a wench.
Yeah, and I said wench on the bench, and I was like, oh, I bet that's not what it's called.
I don't know what that religion is, but
I don't know what that religion was. Not. Yeah.
Not ours.
So,
That's
Elf on the
hilarious.
Shelf. Yeah, I know it's very controversial, especially right now, this time of year. It's just
Election day.
Elf on the Shelf. It's all up there.
Well, how do we, with Christmas coming up, keep the magic of Santa separate from Jesus? Because Magnolia has asked that already. She's 3.
Yeah.
Going on 13. She asked me about Santa. I was like, oh, he's magic. And then we were talking about Disney movies. And I was like, they don't live in our world. Like, they live in Disney World. I didn't mean to be like the one in Florida. I meant like a magical place far away. But anyways, and then she's like, well, is Jesus real? Is he in our world? I was like, Jesus, yes, is everywhere. He is in our world. So
we experienced this a little bit last year with Benjamin, like starting to really ask questions. And honestly, like I think this year might be like it for him. He might already be like questioning it. But he hasn't said it. But so he asked if he said something about Santa, and he was like, does Santa have the same kind of magic that Jesus has? And I said, well, Jesus doesn't have magic. And he was like, well, is Santa a real person? Struggling. This was really, I like stumbled through this a lot.
Well, yeah, it's a tough chop.
I said that, yeah. And I said, Santa was a real person. And he's like, well, does he live forever like Jesus? And I said, well, no, he doesn't. He was a real person and he did die. But now we keep the spirit of Christmas alive by giving like he did. And he was like, so Santa's not real? And I was like, the magic of Santa is very real, but Santa's not a real person. And that was enough at the moment, but I also think that might just be more confusing. Like he just like, couldn't grasp that. But I think no matter what, like at least at least it said that, like, I'm not going to put Santa and Jesus in the same category because
Yeah.
when they find out, I think looking back, he'll know, like, I didn't lie to him
Mm-hmm.
because Santa was a real person. He's not alive now, but we work together by giving to keep the spirit of him alive. Where Jesus was a real person, he died, but he came back to life and he lives forever, is different. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that would, like, that's not going to settle well with Magnolia though? She's gonna need,
No,
like,
she
facts.
needs answers.
And I think that's why, like, I used to think, like, the families who, like, just didn't do Santa at all, I used to think, gosh, that's so harsh. Like, but now I think I kind of, like, I
Or like
respect,
told them from the get-go.
yeah, that Santa wasn't real. I thought that was really harsh and horrible.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I kind of respect that. I think it's really hard for the majority of families who still do Santa for those kids. You really have to instill in those kids, like, we still keep the spirit of him alive. So, like,
Yeah.
let's not tell kids who do believe in him still.
Yeah.
But I think too, like, if we were, I just think if I was going to be someone who did not, or told from the get-go that Santa was not real, ever, like, after you figured it out, did you ever put Jesus and Santa in the same category?
No, I
Yeah.
never did.
But I
know that there's
understand-
some people who do, and
Right.
so I'm like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't.
like, explain.
Maybe I just wasn't very like intuitive, like as a kid.
Maybe you just weren't special.
Maybe I wasn't special, and I just kind of went with whatever,
Yeah.
So like,
Mhm. Oh, I was the kid who, like, believed in Santa way too long.
I
Because
did
I was
too.
like, my parents are so poor. There's no way that they could, like, get us this many presents.
Yeah.
Santa's totally real.
100%.
And I'm still like,
I still a little bit sometimes like, are those jingle bells I hear?
what's he bringing me? Oh yeah, I remember, like, I mean, I was probably like embarrassingly old, and I heard something on our roof, and I was like, oh, is that reindeer?
Well, our bedroom was right on like the like that roof from the porch roof.
Yeah.
Roof.
Roof?
Why does that sound weird? The roof. Anyways, and I don't know. Maybe I dreamt it. Well, obviously I dreamt it, but I
don't know. I don't think you can go wrong either way. You just gotta be careful.
just
Either way
you
go
just got to
about it.
commit. I think with what route you want to go.
Yeah. And then I know, like, as the kids get older and they figure it out, like, we've had the conversation with them, and then we let them in different ways, we let them be part of the magic. Like, sometimes the girls like moving the elves, and that really helps.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's
Helps
fun.
you.
Yeah, it really helps me. But as for, like, the magic of Christmas and Santa, like, we don't let them, like, do anything. Like, we still want that to be magic for them. Special without ruining it for them, because there's still something really magical about waking up. And
there is.
I mean,
even for me. Well, and
I
as a
love it.
parent, it's more so like to
my
see their
gosh.
faces.
Yeah, I love giving gifts, and
And that's another thing. I really want to start a tradition, like especially Magnolia at the age that she is now, like to give around Christmas, like not like charity, maybe charity work, but like what do you do with that age that like you can continue each year? You know what I mean? Like to instill that like spirit of giving.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, there's lots of places you can go get the angels off the tree, adopt a family, those types of things. Go shop for, like, have her shop for someone else. And I can't remember, gosh, what is it called? They do the shoebox where, like, you get the list of things.
Right.
There's also an organization that does that where you get a kid whose parent is incarcerated, and, like, you go and shop for that kid and wrap it up and everything so that they have a Christmas. I think that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Also, totally not off topic, but there's an episode of Fancy Nancy, and it's a Christmas episode, and it is really good. I mean,
She loves Fancy Nancy.
Yeah, so good. Fancy Nancy, it's all about her on Christmas, and then she meets a girl who doesn't have much, and she ends up giving her bike that she's been wanting so bad. They go and put it on her porch and watch her come out and get it. And it's just, I mean, I cried when I watched it.
I know,
the
I'm
first
like
time. I
tearing
was
up
like,
you
"Oh."
telling me.
But
So sad.
yeah, Benjamin watched that like as a young, and he was like, you mean like some people don't have anything? And he did ask then, like, well, why wouldn't Santa bring her stuff? And we had to have like a little bit of a talk, but again, like at that age it went over his head.
Mhm.
Where now I think it would have been like he
Having
would have
to-
come out of it and been
Mhm.
like, Santa's not real, and
Yeah.
parents keep the magic alive. And if parents can't keep the magic alive, then some kids don't have that.
Christmas. Yeah.
Well, they don't have Christmas in that sense, but that's not really what Christmas is about to begin with. And,
Yeah.
But, you know, getting them to understand all that's
Yeah.
just devastating
Yeah.
to his age.
We solve nothing.
Basically, we're saying just do your best.
and hope for the best.
And if they ask questions and you completely fail, don't worry. You're not going to mess them up for life.
Just revert to writing a letter and asking Santa himself.
Mhm.
And maybe you
When in
can
doubt, use your
listen to
elves.
someone who can actually give you some advice.
There's probably a
it.
podcast for that.
There's
So stay tuned. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.
bye. Sponsored by White House Foods, a family-owned and operated apple grower and processor located in Winchester, Virginia. Whether you want to kick off the fall season with apple butter, pour some vinegar in your drink to support your gut health, or need a quick applesauce pouch snack for your kiddos, White House has been serving generations of consumers since 1908. From our house to yours, White House.